this guest. I hope you guys are all having a great day. It's Thursday, April 16th, so let's talk capital. Alright guys, let's jump right into it, okay? So I was saving this article for today, so it actually worked out great with everything that's breaking today. We're going to do some real heart-to-heart talk right now, okay? So this is the IMF, International Monetary Fund, okay? As the name goes, they are the International Monetary Fund for the world, okay? They basically set, oversee, and control monetary situations for all the countries across the world, okay? This is their headline from their article that they released on Monday or Tuesday. If you're following me on Instagram, you saw this. I posted it. If you're not, follow me on Instagram so you can see the stuff that I post on there too. Okay. The Great Lockdown, worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Okay? Pretty self-explanatory, right? This is what we're looking at, guys. This is what I've been preaching on. This is what I've been beating a dead horse to. Okay, we are not out of damn woods on this. Okay, and it's honestly the events that transpired today are just irritating the you know what out of me. Okay, because a lot of people are just being entirely irrational of what is actually going on in the marketplace. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about the unemployment claims. We had 5.2 million unemployment claims. We're now sitting at 22 million unemployment claims in 1 month time span. Okay, that is now more people are unemployed than we managed to put back to work throughout the last 11 years of the recovery from the Great Recession. Okay, let me say that again. More people are out of work today than we put to work coming out of the recession in 2008. Okay, so in 11 years, it took to put 20 million something people back to work. Okay, in 1 month, we unemployed 22 million of those people. I don't understand how we can look at numbers like that and decide that we're bullish on the SP500, we're bullish on the Dow Jones. This concept just doesn't make sense to me, guys. And we had honestly, a completely disturbing press conference from the president today, highlighting the three-phase plan to get back to normal, as they want to call it, right? So they have different phases, phase 1, 2, and 3 that we need to go through before we can come back to life before the pandemic, okay? And phase 1 and 2 clearly state, I'll leave a link for that for you guys can check out. I'll leave a link for that so you guys can check it out. But phase 1 and 2 clearly state that social distancing is still required. Some businesses can open, but you need to social distance. Some businesses cannot. Some counties can. Some counties can't. So basically, phase 1 and 2 are kind of like, if you can stay 6 feet apart from each other, you can go back to work. Okay. Now here's the problem: when you have 22 million people who've been unemployed, okay, how do we put these people back to work? Do we just open the doors and everybody just hires back who they fired? I mean, there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, there's a lot of fugazi going on right now, okay? There's a lot of, like, nonsense in the market right now. The market is rallying off of BS news. I don't know how to explain this. It's just, we're just rallying because, hey, we got 1 cent of good news, right? So we're digging for every inch of good news so the market can continue to rally. Let me give you guys the hard-hitting truth here. When we go back to normal, however normal we get back to, right? When we go back to normal, you think people's bank accounts are just magically going to replenish themselves throughout all the hardship that they've had to suffer for not working for this long? You know what I mean? You think these people are all just going to go back to work instantly? You think companies that can't get to phase 3 quick enough, you think they're going to be able to make money? How are you going to go to a Laker-Clipper game, a Rams game, if you need to social distance? How are you going to go to a concert if you need to social distance? How are you going to go to work if you need to social distance? Some people's cubicles are 2 feet apart. Some people have open working spaces. How can we do all of this stuff? How are you going to go to the DMV? You can't social distance there. It's going to take you even longer if you got to stand 6 feet apart, right? I mean, I'm just hitting the surface of the situation, but this thing runs so deep, it's incredible. On top of that, realistically, there's 4 states in America that run the American economy, right? Now, you can choose to disagree with me if you want. Go ahead, feel free to leave a comment. Tell me if you think I'm lying or not. But 4 countries, 4 states, okay? We got LA, we got New York, we got Miami, we got Seattle. Okay, you can throw Chicago and Texas in there for fun, right? But the majority of the income, the majority of the intake and the output of the country happens out of those four places. Those four places happen to be the worst hit. I mean, how can we be talking about reopening economy? How can we be talking about phase one and two, where states like at least New York is reaching its end, as in probably in a month or two they will be on the decline in cases and deaths, but they're still on the incline right now. Don't get it twisted. Okay, California has yet to even see the surge. Everybody keeps saying California is where New York was in January, late January, early February. That means we're yet to even see it. Seattle's going through it right now. Miami's still yet to see it. You think these places are going to be able to open phase one, two, and three in the next 6 months realistically? They've extended the stay-at-home order to May 15th. We're probably going to go to the end of May. Okay, now at the end of May, we start getting into phase one. Each phase takes 15 days before you can move to the next phase. That means best case scenario, you need 2 months to get to phase three. You guys understand how much money is being lost by the economy being shut down for this long? We're just going to magically make all of this up? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, the nonsense that they continuously are feeding us. They're trying to keep all hope alive. All hope alive. Funny thing is, I have a flashcard right in front of me that says, there is no room for hope in markets. The market goes its own way without regard for you. We gotta cut the hopium, man. We gotta cut the hopium. This market isn't going to set a new all-time high this year. We have more bleeding left. I'm going to stick to this until I am proven wrong. And the only way I'll be proven wrong is if SP 500 sets a new all-time high somewhere in the 3600 range. This is not going to happen, guys. Industries are suffering. Businesses are suffering. We're setting record unemployment that hasn't been seen since Great Depression. We're at 15% unemployment rate. There's only been 4 times in the United States history we've hit that level. We didn't even hit that level in 2008. We hit 9.9% unemployment rate in 2009, 2008, 9, and 10, guys. We're in uncharted water, and they're talking about reopening the economy and seeing new all-time highs. Come on, man. I'm sorry for that rant, but I have to get this off my chest. There's a lot of BS talk in the markets right now. Okay, now let's jump into some real action here on the charts. Okay, S&P 500. I've been beating this support resistance channel to death. Here we are. We're in the channel. We opened on Mr. Trump's beautiful news of reopening the economy this weekend, and gapped up because everybody's so optimistic, looking for any inch of good news that we're just mooning, right? So we're in the resistance channel. At this point, we're either going to crash down from here and come all the way down to 2600-ish, or we're going to hit the top of the channel and then we're going to retrace. Okay, this market will not set a new all-time high this year. I don't know how many times I need to say this. This is not going to happen. Okay, this is not. I'm putting my neck out on the line right here. It will not happen. It just will not happen. Okay? Why? Why, you ask? Kev, why will it not do that? On this entire ride down, right? Look at this volume. Okay, we had massive volume spike over here. Didn't hold the level. We crashed away, came down, continued to lower lows, right? And as we've been moving up, there's declining volume. So basically, this was the bottom for everyone, right? For some reason, everybody believes this was the bottom, but the market participants have disappeared. I mean, how does that make sense? So if we set the bottom, right, at a 40% discount for the top, and everybody believes we're going to set a new all-time high, shouldn't the market participation be out of control? Shouldn't people be buying these prices up like cookies? I mean, think about it. This is some of this stuff is common sense, and some of it is technical. What I'm telling you right now is completely common sense. How do we have low volume on a massive rally up while everybody's calling for new all-time highs? We're talking about a 33% move from the bottom, right? And if we were to some magical way make it all the way back up to our high over here, we're going to be talking about a 56% move to a new all-time high. Yet we have no market participants. Nobody wants to join in on this rally. That's a very interesting concept. So we're going to go higher and set a new all-time high, but nobody wants to join in on the fun. Everybody's just going to stay sidelined. and do nothing, right? It's not happening. I don't know how many times I gotta keep saying we are not getting new all-time highs. Okay, this is all the movement of a completely lost and irrational market that thinks that we're getting new all-time highs, that they think that we're coming out of this pandemic roaring, we're just ready to go. Markets are going to open up, everything's going to be a-okay again. We're just going to go back normal like nothing ever happened. We're just going to act like nothing, right? And let's say even if we do, right? We've injected close to $6 trillion into the market. Where does that money come from? We print it, right? So, you guys ever heard of inflation? So, if the market continues higher and we printed all this money, we've now basically destroy the United States dollar. Because as the market's going up, we just created a massive form of inflation. It's just, we're going to head down. It's just about getting to the right confluence zone over here, to the right resistance zone, so we can continue to head down lower. Okay? Now, enough about the negative news. Let me give you guys some good news. Remember we talked about Amazon, and I said the gap, once the gap is invalidated, we will definitely move higher. Well, here we are today, guys. The gap has been invalidated, and we are now sitting at a daily new all-time high of 24.56, 59, excuse me. Okay, so we closed the gap and immediately moved higher to new all-time high of 24.59. Okay, I've been saying it makes sense for Amazon to do this because what is everybody doing at home? They're sitting at home spending their stimulus check or spending whatever money they got left in their bank accounts to hopefully make some money, right? I mean, to have some, do something that doesn't let them be bored, right? Shopping, everybody knows. You're bored, you shop online, right? But here's the basic gist of it. If Amazon wants to continue higher, I completely expect it to. We're looking at about a $3,000 price target, okay? And it's going to continue to move higher. It's just, we're going to have so much money rolling into people's pockets while Trump pretends he's going to be able to open up the economy and get new all-time highs that people are going to have spending cash, at least for now, okay, until we figure out how to put everyone back to work, right? I expect 2,900 to be hit on this guy. We're realistically not that far away. I mean, we're at 24 already. We're talking about a $500 move for an asset that does $300 moves, as you guys can see. No problem. Another good news is Netflix. And you guys remember we talked about how Netflix was in this triangle formation, and it has broken out of the triangle formation. So good news for whoever owns Netflix. Congratulations, you are now up on your position. And we talked about how once the formation breaks, we're looking at a top to bottom move. So once we take that and we put it here, we're looking at a move to roughly $520. Okay, we're not that far away from that. We should probably get that in the coming weeks to maybe a month or so. And from there we'll probably see a retracement, but that's what Netflix is looking like. And the best one of them all, my favorite of them all, Bitcoin. Bitcoin got a daily close of right around 70. What are we looking at? Daily close 71.12. So we broke the downtrend, as you guys can see in the gray line. I've been talking about this downtrend for a while now. We finally broke it. Okay. Now what do we do now? Now we're looking for a retest of the trend to make sure that it is a correct break. Okay. False breaks do happen. This is just the beast that the market is, right? So we're looking at a retest of about 6,900 before we continue higher to about 8,000. Okay, that $6,900 retest is going to be very significant. One great thing that I love about this is we're looking at the volume profile on Bitcoin daily chart right now, and as you guys can tell, this volume candle, this candle that broke the $7,000 downtrend that we were under for the past 2 months or so, broke with nice buy volume. Okay, so as you guys can see, we had nice buy volume coinciding with the candle that broke the downtrend, which makes it highly possible that it was a clean break and we're going to head higher to 8,000. Okay, before I wrap up the video, I want to let you guys know this simple thing. Okay, there's this long joked about narrative in trading that it's a joke until you see it happen so many times over that you realize it's the reality. And it's buy the hype, sell the news. Okay, so it's a saying. So traders love to buy the hype and sell the news. Okay, to go back to my rant from the beginning of the video on the S&P 500 on our general economy, right? The hype is that we're going to open everything up and we're going to head higher and everything is going to be great. It's going to be jolly old America again. We're going to be fine, back to business as usual, right? That's the hype. As soon as the virus is over, we're going to be back to reality, normal reality, right? The news is that's just not going to happen. That's going to be the news. So once everything goes back to whatever they want to call normal now, right? We're somewhat social distancing, somewhat not shaking hands and breathing on top of each other and whatever, right? So that's our new normal. That's the news, right? Once the news hits and once reality hits, and that's why it's called buy the hype, sell the news, because it's buy the hype and sell the reality. Basically, buy the hope. We're hoping, and then reality hits and everybody realizes we were just hoping for no reason, right? The news, the reality is going to be the fact that it is not going to just go back to normal. Companies cannot lose this much money. Businesses cannot lose this much money. Individuals cannot lose this much money and we just go back to normal. That's just not going to happen, guys. And again, like I said, I'm willing to stick my neck out on the line for this. This is the reason I'm making these videos. I want to have it documented. Okay, I want to have proof, okay, that what we talked about is the reality. It is not the hopium that Congress and the president and all these press conferences want to spread forever. Okay? With that, I leave you guys today. I hope you guys continue to have a great day. Keep up with the markets. Pay attention to what's going on. We're stepping into the most important 30 days of financial history in America, probably. How we handle the next 30 to 45 days is going to show how we can handle the next 2 years out from this virus and what happens. I will definitely be back tomorrow with a new video, so you guys keep an eye out for that one. But until then, I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you